Okay, we are back in the Anvil Carrack. Those of you who have seen the first couple of videos, you know that I've had a lot of bad luck with this ship so far. So hopefully we've gotten past the bad luck. No turrets, and hopefully the server doesn't crash because that's what happened the first time. So. First time was on the game on CIG. Second time was on me. All right, so let's go ahead and continue the tour. We actually made it to the rear of the ship before I was just flung out into oblivion. So that's where we're gonna head now. We're on level 3, and we're going to head down to level 2 after we're done with level 3. And so this was the turret that flung me out into space and destroyed my ass. And so now we go into engineering, where we get to see the ship's very own power plants. And they're humming along, providing plenty of thrust for this massive boat. And this guy here must be the actual power plant. Well, it's the quantum jump drive, which you actually can see at the floor of engineering. Shield generator number 2, shield generator number 1, life support. Why is life support empty? Why is life support empty, guys? Anyone care to explain? Yeah, it's just features they have to add because you know, radar's empty too. Mind the gap. Clever. Alright, so now we're gonna go down to the fuel tank. Or are we in the fuel tank? Make sure to deactivate before moving. We've just left the armistice zone, so we're high enough in the air now. I've got the ship cruising as always. It's what I do. Alright. So, these fuel tanks are not open to us at the moment. I wonder if in future updates, these will be targets for sabotage by boarding parties. Like they hit your fuel tanks and then you just get fucking blown up. Oh. Alright. Take us to upper engineering. And there we are. This is the control unit from here, which you probably don't have to be in the suit to be in, because you know, radiation. And there's our starboard turret. And the rear elevator. Cartography deck, which is actually level 4, so you can't get to level 4 from the front of the ship. And this is the cartography deck. And this is probably my favorite part of the ship. So remember how I said the ship gave me Normandy vibes? This is legit the Normandy vibe. So I wonder how in future updates this room will serve. Because it's cool. Like, just imagine them updating this map and you can, you know, target different planets and get information about them in real time. So all in the augmented reality overlay, just like the star map that's on the site itself, and you can just pick out little planets and get information on them, which is better than the star map that you currently have access to in your heads-up display. And so we have an escape pod just in case you get blown up in the middle of you charting the stars. But this is an exploration ship, which is why something like the cartography map is super important. And then this is through to the airlock. And these are EVA doors. So I probably, just to be safe, I'm not gonna leave the deck. Or I'm not gonna step outside. Unless this ship isn't moving at all. So we'll come back up here to just test it. I probably should be getting back to the pilot chair anyway, just to see what we're doing. Alright, so we explore cartography deck, technical deck, well, most of cartography deck. Yeah, say that 3 times fast. Okay. We've got another 50,000 meters to go, and then we will be free of the planet's atmo. So this will take us down 3 levels. Let's take the rear elevator, because that one will get you to the cartography deck. So I feel like that's the most important elevator to be familiar with. Habitation. Mind your head. So this is where R&R happens. And this is my favorite room on the ship, the med bay. And you can actually turn your Carrack into a mobile spawn point for yourself and your crew. But yeah, as you can see, incredibly modern. We got 2 hospital beds here with panels hooked up to them, and Dr. Chakwa's office right here. So we got 2 servers. We've got a book. Unexpected gains. Here we will lay the groundwork that by reestablishing what are fundamental design protocols, I can't read that, be when approaching. Okay, you get the point. Looks like we got some plants that we're growing here, some gloves and syringes, microscope, and oxygen tanks, and then a panel for the engineers. But yeah, this the med bay is just incredible. And then here's the storage room. Looks like we're growing our own medicinal herbs here, and a bunch of oxygen tanks. So yeah. And then of course the centerpiece, which this bed actually moves depending on whether or not you have an occupant on it. So I'm gonna choose lie down. And I'm sinking into the bed here. And as you can see, the bed has risen. And then when you get off, it lowers itself. So this is where you would bring any wounded squad mates. And so this hall here is identical. They both lead the same way. Back to the elevator. So deck 2, it's not confusing. It's designed pretty straightforward. Not as many rooms as on the upper decks. And then of course here are your R&R rooms. So here is the mess hall. Got our cooker over there, pantry, and then a massive table where you and your crewmates can chow down on some food. You can also enjoy the view from here, and there's a little bench where you could like put cooked food, or you know, the food that you're eating, and just enjoy the view. Because again, the ship has its own gravity field, so you don't have to worry about your dishes flying around. And then this is of course the toilet. Very modular. And it has just a very military-esque feel to it. No touch. Shower. So you got your flip-flops here. And your showers, even though it says toilet. Well, I think it's supposed to say toilet. And lockers. And a pool table with iron balls. Alright, and then a little bit past here is the captain's quarters. So everyone's stuff is located on the same level. The captain is right next to their crewmates. Bed right there, and then of course your own private bathroom, toilet, shower combo. And then takes you straight to the bridge at the front of the ship, where you and your squad mates can immediately get to work, and the commander, the captain, can easily just take this elevator to get to the top level. Where's the power? Open exterior. Yeah, no, we're not gonna do that.
Anvil Aerospace, all systems online.
Alright, so we have made our trek, our voyage. So we can deaccelerate now. 0.0 meters a second. We are in orbit officially. And let me just straighten the ship a little bit. Perfect. We are adrift. Gonna leave the helm. And then we are going to proceed to level 3. Or I should say level 1, and then, or deck 1. And then we're gonna go up to deck 4. And that's where we're gonna do our EVA bit, which I was afraid to do earlier. Okay, and now heading to subdeck. So just to put it in perspective, 4 levels, and now we are in subdeck. So what is subdeck for? Let's find out. So we've got a turret here, the aft turret. We're not in motion, so it should be safe to use the turrets.
Anvil Aerospace. All systems online.
And there you have it. Full 360. Any target that hits the ship, you're going to be able to see him. There's a dead zone right beneath the turret, but you'd have to be a pretty skilled pilot to get the approach just right to where the turret couldn't hit you. Alright, so let's move to the front of subdeck, which I believe we already know it's going to be up there. So, catwalk, cargo pod. Let's head to the cargo pods. So this is where the belly of the beast, so to speak, is located. That's where we are now, and the edges of the walls here look like the hull that's on the outside, so we know where we are on the ship just based off of that. And that's the nice thing about a ship like this, because you have the ability to store tons of cargo. So this design is very similar to Drake's Caterpillar, but it's the Carrack, and it's bigger than Drake's Caterpillar. So it's like Anvil took everything that people loved about the Caddy and just applied it. So yeah, that's EVA right there. And let me double check. Make sure that I don't make the same mistakes last time. Yes, I do have my helmet on. And I could EVA out this door, but I'm not going to. Because getting back in is going to be a pain in the ass. Through these little tiny little holes. And then this is the elevator that will take you to the bridge. And then here is the entrance to the ship, where here's the glory of space beyond. Now we're gonna head up to deck 4. This is a nice speedy elevator, which is good news because if you're ever in a dire situation where you've got crew moving to and fro, this is what you want. You want a speedy elevator like that. Whoa, 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 okay. See, that's why I'm so glad I waited. Because my character literally lost her footing and freaking cartwheeled outside of the ship. And then there's the hangar right there, which probably can't open from outside. It has to be open from inside the ship, which makes sense because, you know, boarding parties. But yeah. This is a part of the Carrack that you really can't appreciate until you're in space. And there's the bridge. So you can see why this ship is so popular and why it's so beloved, because, I mean, look at it. Just look how amazing it looks. And how the color scheme, you know, that gunmetal and red color scheme is found throughout the ship and outside of the ship. Like, there's just no mistaking it. Places you can go, the things you can do. There's just so much upside, you know, to this ship. Like, I can just see in like future updates, you know, your crewmates can like actually play pool, you know? But yeah, that's the Anvil Carrack. We've successfully completed the tour, even though we had some setbacks. And yeah, it's an incredible ship. It's an incredible ship. Easily one of the greatest that CIG has ever made. Anvil, more specifically. And so that's how the bridge looks from the outside. That double-decker bridge. Massive glass cockpit. Alright. So easy does it. You want to get as close as possible to the ground, but not so close that you start clipping. There we go. So we're gonna try to. Alright, door's closing. So this takes us to operation. To deck 3, so okay, doesn't look like I have the ability to fire its guns. Unless you can fire the guns and all the weapons have to be manned. Which makes a lot of sense, but at the same time, doesn't. But I didn't observe any weapons that weren't manned anyway.
Flare online.
Yeah. This ship does not have pilot-mounted weapons. All the weapons have to be manned. So hopefully you have a competent crew. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Anvil Aerospace. All systems online. Flare online.
Alright. Let's do one more speed test. You can't use the afterburners if you're not in the pilot seat.
Engines overheating.
So in no atmo, this ship can do close to a kilometer a second. Yeah, 964 meters a second. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So it's pretty quick in space. It's not gonna outrun a fighter. But it's mobile enough. So yeah, I've gotta like change direction because I built so much speed going the other direction. You know, flight is very realistic like that. Let's see if we can get us a distant body. OM1. That's even closer than where we are now. Yeah, no, I don't want to go that far. Delamar, nope. RKL3, nope. That's too far. Yeah, there we go, Calliope. And I just want to show off the quantum drive because I've never actually done it in any of my reviews. So.
Drive is now on.
And that's quantum drive. Very pretty. And different ships have different quantum drive speeds. Usually bigger ships are slower in quantum space, but they can go further. Faster ships, you know, can burn a trail, but they, you know.
Self-destruct protocol accepted.
Okay, gonna blow it up. Okay, I thought we were gonna blow it up. What happened? No, it's just giving you no time to get the fuck out. It makes sense though, because the timer is a big ship. So you trigger self-destruct, you need to give everyone time to get to the escape pods. And, huh. It's definitely taking...
Fire.
There it is. Okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. Worth. All right, so that's the Anvil Carrack. Finally, after so many setbacks, we got the ship done. Moving on to the next one. Um, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be spawning falling again. I could be wrong, but on to the next ship.